a spider. All right. There was once a king who had the finest ram in all the world. And when this beautiful ram one day just happened to be grazing on Anansi's crops, Anansi throws a rock at it, and he hits the ram right between the eyes, killing it instantly. Anansi knows that the king will punish him for what he has done to this splendid ram, and he immediately thinks up a scheme in order to get out of the situation. He, of course, will resort to trickery. So Anansi sits under a tree to think of an escape, when all of a sudden a nut falls and strikes him on his head. The nut cracking on his skull instantly gives him an idea. Eureka! First he takes the dead ram and ties it to the nut tree. Then he goes to a spider and tells the insect about a wonderful tree laden with tasty nuts. The spider is, of course, delighted and immediately goes to the tree. Anansi then goes to the king and tells the ruler that the spider has killed the prize ram. The ram was hanging from the nut tree where the spider was busy spinning a series of webs. The king flies into a rage and then demands the death penalty for the spider. The king then thanks Anansi and offers him a great reward. Anansi then returns to the spider and warns the insect of the king's wrath. The spider was at this point very confused and did not fully understand. So Anansi tells the befuddled spider to go to the king and plead for mercy, and perhaps then the spider's life will be spared. Meanwhile, the king has gone home for lunch and tells his wife what has happened. The queen laughs and laughs and says to her husband, the king, "Have you lost your mind? How could a little itty-bitty spider spin a web strong enough to catch your prized ram? How could the little spider hoist the ram up? Don't you realize, my king," says his wife, "that Anansi obviously killed your prized ram, not the spider?" The king becomes very angry. Of course, he's angry that he's been deceived, and tells his warriors to fetch Anansi immediately. Immediatamente, says the king. When the king's men come for him, Anansi assumes that it's to bring him to the palace for his reward for turning in the tiny but innocent spider. So Anansi goes along willingly with the king's warriors, and he walks into the king's palace as if he owned it, and says to the king, "Well, what is my reward for finding the killer of your prize ram?" The king becomes so enraged that he kicked and kicked Anansi. He kicks him and kicks him so much that he splits him into many pieces. Anansi was now no longer a man, but was now a spider with long legs, and he remains a spider to this very day. All right. The most celebrated